Hey everyone. So today I have the pick and gut of an Assa Twin Maximum or a Maximum Plus. I'm not 100% sure what the branding of these is now. I got this from UHS Hardware online. They were selling these complete Assa 7000 series deadbolt kits for like 40 bucks, which is super cheap. Um, so I picked one up. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the kit because I didn't really need a whole deadbolt, but 40 bucks for a lock like this is a pretty good deal. So this is a black belt lock under the LPU rating scale. It has a combination of two different security features. So number one, you've got the Assa barrel drivers with the matched milling inside of the plug. And then the secondary mechanism is these side pins that interact with a sidebar. So just to show you some of the pieces in more detail. So the plug here, you can see it's got the barrel milling inside. Distinctive because it looks like it's double lines, right? That's just the first line here catches the barrels as they pop up, and then they sit on top of this second line. It's almost like overmilling before they pop up. So, whoops, a little blurry. So picking these requires to push it through multiple clicks. That's where the side pins go, right there. I'll show these side pins in a second. That's where your sidebar goes. And then in the lock body, you can see this is the groove for the sidebar right here down the side. So showing some of these pieces in more detail. So if you're familiar with Assa locks, you should know what these barrel drivers look like. Again, and how they interact here with the plug. You have to lift them up through kind of a tapered section, and then they catch, better grip on this, they catch on that milling and then catch again when you lift them, and then they pop out. So they require multiple clicks. They're one of the, in my opinion, most annoying types of security drivers to deal with, because you'll think that they're set, but they're not, and then you just gotta keep lifting them, hopefully without oversetting to get them set. So the side pins here, so these are a little bit different than what I've seen in other Assa locks. So they have a little, I'm not sure what to call that, a little nub or a little fin. That's what actually sticks into the keyway and gets lifted by the sidebar bitting on the lock. And then when you look at the front of this, you can see there are false gates there, but they're not super deep. The true gate is obviously very deep. The false gates, though, are not. And I didn't have a lot of difficulty with the sidebar on this because you can kind of just lift the side pins up through those false gates and they just kind of click through. This lock isolated very well, so the top stacks basically had to all get picked before the sidebar started binding. And then once the sidebar was binding, I found I could just lift this middle pin, which was a max lift. And if I could hear it click through all the false gates, I was basically done. I would know that everything was going to be binding from there on. I could just kind of bully it up. So not super challenging on that. Here's the sidebar. So you can see the Assa sidebar has, the way that it's constructed is the bitting of the key matches a specific sidebar. And so the side pins are basically all the same. They've all got two false gates underneath the true gate and then two more false gates above the true gate. But it's the sidebar itself that determines what key bitting will actually put those true gates in the right spot. So this is my key for this particular lock. The bitting on the sidebars for these locks from UHS is all the same hopefully it's not an issue that I'm showing it here. But if you've ever bought a lock from UHS Hardware that is in one of these Assa Twin Maximums or Twin Maximum Plus Restricteds, it will look just like this, except for the top bitting, of course. So I think that is everything I wanted to show on here. Nothing fantastical in there, just the groove. You can see it's got picking wear from me picking it, so that's what happens when you pick locks. They end up looking like this. I think that's everything, though. Oh, one thing that's neat, super elegant design. This has a closing rod, so basically all the top stacks fit in there, and then this kind of just goes through and then gets screwed shut, and it holds all the top stacks in. So way better than a cap strip. Makes it easy to gut. I love closing rods, and I wish all locks had them. So okay, that's the overview. Again, Assa Twin Maximum with barrels. We'll get it over and get it picked and gutted. All right, my lock's up here ready to go. Key works. Woo! There's my bitting. Okay, first thing I need to do here is pick the top stack, set all the barrels. So barrels have a tendency to act somewhat tapered, so you have to lift them all over and over again to get them to set, or at least work your way up to getting them in the milling, and then eventually they will they'll start to be settable. So you can probably hear some of the clicks there as I work these barrels up. They always feel like they take more clicks than you believe they should. Because once you get them up into those first parts of the milling, they will feel like they've set, but they have not. Okay. I'm going to test the sidebar to see if those are all set correctly. If the sidebar is binding, which it does feel like it is, that means my barrels are all set. So I'm just working the sidebar here. The most important thing is to not overset these pins. And there we go. All right, that is open. Ooh, that's it took me a long time to learn that one. I had to relearn how to do the barrels because I have not picked a barrel lock in quite a while. But you can see that is open. And let's get this gut in. So I had to relearn how to do the barrels. For me on this one, the barrels were the toughest part, probably by far. The sidebar is not bad. I'll show the bitting again. But this is the standard kind of UHS sidebar, and it's got this one real high lift in the middle, and then just ones directly to either side of the middle. You need to do a little bit of tapping, and then basically just slide your pick under the ones at either end. So the sidebar is not bad at all on this, and you can kind of, I don't know, bully it up. Just push the pins up through clicks. The false gates don't bind super hard. So, all right, let's get this gutted. So first thing, this has a closing rod, which is the most wonderful lock design I've ever seen. So you just have to unscrew this here, and then you can just push this out, and you're ready to get the top stacks. So very nice. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna dump these and then resort them. So spring, barrel, and key pin. Just lost my spring there. And there's the last stack. I'll show those real quick here. So you can see those barrel drivers. Nothing special on the key pins. And now let's take the plug out. The other nice thing about these is that the key will hold the side pins in. So as I gut it, I don't have to worry about those shooting out everywhere. I do have to worry about holding the sidebar in. Okay. So here's my sidebar. All intact there. Put that right there. Grab these sidebar springs before I lose them. Because these things are very losable. Stay there. Thank you. Okay. Now let's get these side pins out. Okay. Just making sure I keep them in order. So there's the rearmost. And I'll show these up close in a second as well. Out. One spring. Okay, there they go. So I'm just going to show the plug real quick here. So close up of the plug, you can see that double lined barrel milling there. It's present in all chambers, and it goes all the way around on both sides. And let's close up again on the side pins. Actually, there we go. I'm just gonna flip these around so that you can see all the false gates on them. This tray was designed by Reverend on the LPU Discord. It is a wonderful tray for these because it has little notches so that the side pins all sit correctly so that you can see the false gates. So there are your side pins with the false gates on them. I'll just grab one and show it up real close. So you can see that one true gate in the middle, and then the false gates above and below it. Really on this one, again, you can kind of push through the false gates. It's not that hard to do. The worst thing you have to watch out for is oversetting these side pins. When I was first doing these, or doing this one, I overset the side pins a couple times, and once you overset them, it's over. It's really hard to get them to drop back down without dropping everything. And then there's one of the barrels just up close. So again, you can see that distinctive Assa barrel milling. All right, there you go. That is picked and gutted. That is an Assa Twin Maximum. It's the high security version of the Maximum Plus series. So I've picked a Maximum Plus Restricted before that has the cuts for the sidebar, but there's no side pins in the plug at all. This part where the side pins would go would just be full. So there you go. Picked and gutted. Thanks for watching.